Marilyn Gladu, great to have you here. I know you're just hours away, not even hours away from voting for an interim leader. Thanks for joining us. Let's just get this out of the way. Are you considering throwing your hat back into the ring to run as leader of your party?
Well, I'm going to start with interim leader. I'll put my name forward and see what the caucus has to say about that, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Okay, so that is news. I didn't know that. You formally putting your name forward as the interim leader?
Yes, we're going to have a vote later this evening, and caucus will get to choose.
Okay, now the interim leader cannot run as the permanent leader, but you would like to potentially be the interim leader?
That's correct.
Okay, so Marilyn Gladu, that's interesting. So what would you try, if you were elected the interim leader, what went wrong? Why did people reject Erin O'Toole? And what agenda would you bring forward to try to find some ballast and stability in your party?
Well, first of all, let me say I want to thank Erin and his wife Rebecca and Molly and Jack for all the effort and hard work. It's not easy being the leader, and certainly in the middle of a pandemic, it's been even worse. I think this is an opportunity for a fresh start to unify the party. We definitely need to see that kind of unity. And I think the grassroots needs to weigh in on the policy positions that we took in the last election so that we can be successful, expand the base, and win the next election.
Okay, but what would you keep and what would you toss out from Mr. O'Toole's policy bag there, his idea bag? Because obviously what he was pitching, whether it was his move to the center on the price on carbon or other things, clearly he alienated a significant part of your party. He could not muster more than 45 votes, so something's got to go. What would you toss aside from the O'Toole bag, and what would you keep?
Well, I think it's important to, return to what the grassroots principles of the party are. I mean, we're the party of the rule of law, individual freedoms. I think that the carbon tax was certainly a topic of discussion in my riding, and I know in many of the Western ridings. So those are the conversations that need to be held with caucus and with the grassroots.
Did the trucker protest? You had some MPs openly saying these were out there. You saw Pierre Paul Everett, Leslie Lewis saying these are the freedom-loving people that, and then others are saying, wait, we're the party of law and order. They've occupied downtown. We don't want this. The organizers of this essentially have a seditious thesis that they want to overthrow the government. We don't want to be associated with it. What's your view?
Well, I mean, we've been clear that we're opposed to the vaccine mandates. I mean, these truckers have been going back and forth across the border for 2 years with, even before vaccines were available, no test, no quarantine. And really, I'm in a border town. We haven't seen any impact on the pandemic cases. But that said, we support people's right for lawful protest and peaceful protest. And I think, things are starting to turn the longer that we wait. I've seen the police have arrested 3 people. So at that point, it becomes not lawful. And certainly we wouldn't support that. We decry any of the things that have happened that were negative, violence or hatred or any of these things.
But do you think members of your party lent legitimacy to that movement by being so closely associated with it?
Well, I think we're talking about, the majority of the folks that are out there are just hardworking Canadians, many of whom have lost their livelihoods, and, they want to be heard by the Prime Minister. And I think it's awful that he wouldn't even take the time to meet with them.
The only reason I ask you is I'm not going to go through who was there for what reason. I was out there for 3 days, and there's lots of agendas. But you and I both know the people who organized it raised $8.5 million for an agenda to overthrow the government. They've got the names. They're benefiting economically from it and financially from it. Is support for that, whatever you think your support is, they're making the financial money off of it. Is that an issue for you?
Well, I would say that I'm not convinced that the people that organized this in the first place had an intent to overthrow the government. They had an intent to have the vaccine mandates that are causing them to lose their jobs and impacting the supply chain, causing us to not be able to get as many of our essential items and the price of everything to go up. I think that was really the point of the thing.
Right. I will say, just to fact check you, Marilyn Gladu, the Canada Unity, they are the organizers. It's clear on their website and their MOU. But just real quick, I don't want to get down that rabbit hole yet. What happens tonight? How quick will the vote happen on the interim leader? When will we know who your interim leader will be?
Well, we are certain to have a number of candidates. We got a lot of talent in our caucus, and each person will have some time to make a convincing argument. But certainly, I would expect that we would know by 9 o'clock latest.
9 o'clock p.m. Okay, Marilyn Gladu, Conservative MP, who's now, that's some news. Thank you for doing it on this program. Marilyn Gladu wants to be the interim leader of the Conservative Party of Canada. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a great night.